G'day YouTube, we're here with another quick fix video. This Royal Enfield sitting in front of me has had quite a few mods done to it by the time it's going to roll out of our shop. Not all of them were done here though, so it falls into our quick fix category. Let me take you through exactly what we've done on this Interceptor 650. I'm Tom Gilroy and you're in the Purpose Built Moto garage. Now our client Matt had contacted us, but as per usual we had a bit of a wait list to get into the shop. So in the meantime, he's purchased a bunch of Purpose Built Moto products and started fitting them up himself. The easiest stuff that he's taken care of was fitting his mirrors, using the factory headlight mounts to mount onto our 7-inch flashpoint headlight, and also done the front indicators himself as well, among a few other mods. He'd already taken the tins off before it came in, so those have been done by his painter, which I'll take you through in a minute. Our first job though on this bike was to get the mufflers fitted up and then also make a set of bag racks for him. Now Matty is a bit of an adventure rider. He likes to do a fair bit of touring and he carries his camera gear and a fair bit of other stuff with him. So what we've fabricated on the back here is a rack setup to mount his factory provided Royal Enfield hard bags, and then also a rack that goes over the seat too to chuck it in, an extra couple of bags on and strap them down. So along with those bag racks, you'll see the mounts that we've used here. We've put an extra mount here and then there's one on the back of the tail hoop too. The factory tail hoop has been utilised, but we've taken about 30 mil out of the length of it. Now, as these come, you have the extra gap. So your seat finishes here, and then you've got about 30 millimeters with a rear fender. So we've tucked that up nice and close, mounted one of our tail tidies with the 3-in-1 dome LED indicators. So that acts as your tail and brake light as well. And then we've just got one of our little plate lights. So everything's been minimized here in order to bring the bags racks in and then provide the mounting points that we need to get his adventure rack sorted. So the way that they mount up, we've utilized the pillion peg bracket here for his bottom mount and then the 2 mounts up underneath the frame. So 3 bolts and each side of these come off. The top rack that we have utilizes again 3 bolts. So we've put a number of fasteners that have been welded into the frame. So all of this could be taken on and off in about 10 or 15 minutes if you're not adventure riding. So that was one of Matty's sort of heavy prerequisites. He needed that, and then around that we've sort of styled the bike out. Now part of making the seat fit nicely with the frame mod and also the new racks was slightly modifying it. So we've utilized the factory seat. We've just shaved the duck lip out of the back, so as these come they have a bit of a sweep up on the rear of the seat. So we've taken that out and flattened it out into a more brat style and then sent it over to Jamison at Timeless Auto Trim to be trimmed out in a nice black leather and a standard pretty simple roll stitch, which I think plays into the color scheme that Matt's used here with that really bold bright orange. So we didn't want to overcomplicate things with that. Now, as I mentioned before, our 7-inch flashpoint headlight has been fitted up on the front here with a slightly modified factory bracket. This is actually a really easy fit up. So using the factory Royal Enfield brackets and a set of our indicators and headlights, it's a super simple install. All you've got to do is reroute a few of the cables and plugs that are in the headlight bucket to up underneath the tank, which is a pretty easy job. What else we've done on the front here, obviously it's running a set of our Scrambler mirrors on the lever pivot mounts and a new set of lower style pro taper bars with some custom risers as well. Before I go any further, I will mention that this bike isn't running a front fender. That's only because the client has chosen to use his own painter, so that's still out being painted and we'll just fit it up when he comes down to pick it up and ride his bike home. So it does have a fender. Don't rinse me in the comments, I don't want to hear it. It is there, it's just not here right now. So that will lead us into our wheel modification, which I know a lot of Royal Enfield fans get really excited about because these things look absolutely mental with a really nice set of custom wheels. What we've done here is stripped off the original rims and spokes, reutilized all the brakes and stuff like that. We've had the hubs powder coated black and then laced up to a new set of aluminium XL rims in an anodized black. On this one, we haven't gone quite as wide as our previous model Interceptor, so we've gone a little bit thinner of a tire on the front because we know Matty's going to do a little bit of off-roading, so handling was a bit more important on this project as per our previous project that had a really wide front end. We've got a 17 3.5 rim on the front, running a 120 70 17, and then we're running a 170 17-inch tire on the back. That's about as wide as you can get on the rear end without having to majorly modify anything. Now the tires we're running are a Pirelli Scorpion Rally STR. So these are a sort of slightly more street version than the Pirelli Rally, which are obviously more dirt focused. These are a really good dual sport tire. They have a great profile for street riding, but they also have that knobby sort of chunky look that a lot of our clients want without sacrificing too much of the on-street capability. So a really good crossroad for those guys who want a bit of both. So a modification we sometimes don't talk about on these bikes is the intake upgrade. So obviously when you get these bikes from the dealership, they have a very restrictive exhaust and often a quite restrictive airbox. So one of the first things that a lot of people do is swap the factory mufflers out for one of our torpedo mufflers. So that's a really easy fit up on these bikes. And then the next thing that we often recommend people look at is the intake. So you can go ahead and get your bike retuned after this, but as DNA fit these stage 2 filter kits, they don't say that you need it. So it's something that we recommend, but it's not absolutely necessary. So these DNA filter kits are a super easy fit up, and they replace your filter element and also the airbox cover. So it allows for a much higher airflow and better filtration into your engine. DNA Filters are today's video sponsor. These guys make a lot of stuff for OEM fitment. So we use their stage 2 filter kits on Triumph bobbers, their whole Bonneville and Scrambler range, any of the GT 650s or Continentals that come through here, we've used those on, and actually make a kit for the Super Meteor 650 as well. So I'd highly recommend you jump on our website, take a look at the universal pod filters, and then we're also going to start listing up some of these stage 2 filter kits on there as well. Or you can jump over to Kenmar Australia, which is the Australian distributor, to see what's available around Australia and in stock in the country. So thanks to DNA Filters for jumping on board and supporting the video today. They've been a great support, and we've been selling their products since the very early days of Purpose Built Moto. So I can vouch for them. I run them on my personal bikes. All of our clients have DNA stuff on their motorcycles, so you know it's really good gear. Final bits and pieces on this bike, once all of that stuff done, was Matt had brought us down his finished paintwork, this nice burnt orange and black design that he's worked on with his painter. I don't know who it is, so sorry man, I can't give you a mention, but yeah, reasonably nice job, sort of goes with the style. And that was it. Like, we've just put this together. I've had a few test rides on it, getting it sorted out, running through a few of those teething issues and whatnot, but we're just about ready to hand over on this thing. That's going to wrap it up on the Enfield 650 quick fix, guys. I'm going to start this thing up so you can hear this nice exhaust, and we're going to push it outside for a few photos. So make sure you check out the build blog on our website too if you need any more details about the wheels, the lighting that we've used, and bits and pieces like that. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one. Oh, these motors sound so good with these exhausts. Yeah, it's great.